I hear RBG. Let's go. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. You peak, pale skin beast. I hate your red, white, and blue. And Ku Klux Klan sheets. I hate your president, your senate, and your campaign speech. I hate the British and the Romans and the goddamn Greeks. It's no peace, yeah. Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak this language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan is to waste the time. You out your African mind. Don't make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Crackers, you did it, now it's time to die. I sprayed a ratchet, I blatted, no moving backwards. I'm sending bullets at crackers and all faggots. Forward is the motion. Killing devils on different levels, concocting potions to stop them from encroaching. On our way of life, I got a knife to slit his throat quick. Get my people hyped, cause what I write is always dopeness. Focus. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. This the hate you I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. Take a step in my lane. I'm projecting the pain. Visions and pictures in my veins of us tortured and slain. So many sons and daughters slaughtered, some known in the name. Bringing my eye to the situation is why I came. I shake every pet nation gon' exterminate. Marcus Garvey, Mugabe, politic, run them all away. KP archetype methodology, how the gods say. Try life and I don't play. Kill these crackers in broad day. Enter the scene, got them clean and watch me swerve out it. Big juju in my pocket, I ain't worried about it. That go for grown-ups to babies. Salute my Baba Khaled, Muhammad, we solid. I call for violence, is very valid. Yeah, murder these devils, it's divine order. We opposites, I reject them mixing like oil and water. Africa for Africans, representing them words strong. I say shut them borders down and let us get a purge on. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
This ain't no Kumbaya vibe, my Yasa is a war tribe. That's my war cry, double H famine, it's wartime. Devils want it all, wants peaceful coexistence. Anti-separation, he's violently resistant. Coupe tech, bullet cow, hit the deck when bullets fly. The devil won't change and needs to be euthanized. For stupidness, foolish minds, you will get used your blind. Suicide, trusting this cracker is suicide. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know the play. That peace talk is juvenile, it really don't hold no weight. Fighting hate with love sounds great in theory, but never ever work in history. Name one place that this cracker went. Name one place that this cracker left alone. I bet that they was war prone. Keep a piece in your wardrobe and know the world's a war zone.
I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
And your sister Marcia will be joining us in a short while, family. Good to be back again with y'all for another fabulous Thursday. Sorry we missed y'all last week, but we had to travel and do some things. We always on fact-finding missions over here. So we got to do what we got to do to bring it to you. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my brother Tad in the building. Shout out to the OG Wisdom Podcast host in the building and founder in the building. Shout out to C Gutter. He is always bringing a 1-2 for you every Sunday at 2 p.m. You can catch them live on YouTube. And of course, if you can't find them, their podcast is always listed on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page. So shout out to the OG Wisdom Podcast. Brother Tad in the building. What's good, Brother Tad?
Peace, sis. Peace. How you feeling? Can you hear me clearly?
I got you, brother. I got you clearly. I got you. I know we were off last week. A lot of things have taken place. First, I want to give you and C Gutter respect for inviting me on your platform this past Sunday. We'll talk about that. Also, yes. This evening, sorry, family. We have our brother Knowledge Born Allah of Do the Knowledge Radio, who will be joining us in the second half of our broadcast. He has some things he wants to talk to us about. And of course, he is a leader and a pioneer in this podcasting streaming sphere. He is a legend in the game. So I'm glad to have him on with us. So, Brother Ted.
Yes, sis.
What's been going on, brother? What's been going on?
Ain't nothing going on but the rent. We still fighting this fight. Life is good unless a judge give it to you. I tell you, it was definitely dope to have you on Sunday. You came in with the fire. You was definitely cooking only like you could. And we look forward to having you back real soon, because there's more things we have to uncover as time winds down and we getting closer to the election. We have to see what our community is going to do. A lot of people are misinformed. Mm-hmm. We see when they Porky Martin, Roland Martin, he done got some flames put to him by the youngin'. Woo! And I think what it is, I don't think the elders in and out the community realize that we got to make way for new leadership. You can't fight on a new battlefield with old strategies. It doesn't work. You have to pass the torch eventually. And you have to be honest. You can't be out here misleading the people, giving them false information. Him, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, all of these people, because Malcolm has already warned us about people such as yourselves. So I see Roland Martin like to put on African dashikis now and dance the jig as if he all of a sudden is culturally conscious. But you still operating in the spirit of the boule, servants to the king. All of y'all are doing is just trying to keep us in these positions that we're in right now, which is not moving us forward. And if anything, it's tightening the yoke on the community. So why would you, in all honesty, think that we're that stupid that we're going to follow anything any of y'all say anymore? And this is not the cap for Trump, by no means. But we do have to have honest conversation about who is operating in our best interest and who even has enough integrity to even entertain us. Whether they're going to give us what we're asking for or not, at least they'll sit with us and say, all right, let's have the conversation. Now, a couple of years back, we all was kind of upset with those folks who did sit with Trump. We was upset with Steve Harvey. We was upset with Kanye at the time. But as time goes on, we realized that was the best strategy because the other people that the community, because I didn't vote for none of them, the community was cheering for, they wouldn't give the folks the time of day. No Democrat. Biden didn't sit with black folks. Trump did. You know what I mean? I'm talking about then and now. And we have to see who's really taking us serious. Because even with Kamala Harris getting all this fanfare for black women, she still haven't showed up to any black press conferences. I mean, it's just
true indeed. True indeed. It's insulting, as you said, brother. People have short memories, unfortunately. When former President Trump was running his campaign, Steve Harvey was one of his biggest champions.
Definitely.
Showing up to the Trump Hotel, press photo ops, talking about how he gave money or was looking to give money to Steve Harvey's program for young black boys or young black men. He was all champion. And, we're going to pull them videos up a little later, family, because we have short memory. And also some of the things that Kamala Harris, has said. And it's funny, excuse me, that she goes by her maiden name. But, you find that a bit perturbing, if you will, for leaders of nations. This will be the first time that a woman who has run for president, if she was married, ran on her maiden name. So that too is interesting. It's interesting how we as a people will reward bad behavior. I find it problematic that a lot of the Divine Nine and a lot of these political commentators talk about Vice President Harris as being a champion for women's rights, but she destroyed women. And I'm talking about from a personal perspective. You cannot reward adulterers. God turns a blind eye to adulterers. The law turns a blind eye to adulterers. Did she make amends with the former Mrs. Willie Brown? I hear oftentimes people talk about, they've get their lives together and they move on and, they want to set a particular standard now that they have turned a new leaf. But for me, you have to atone to all of the bad that you had done previously. So for all of those married women that Kamala Harris slept with their husbands, did she atone for that? Why do we think it's okay to reward bad behavior? And we wonder why the world is upside down and inside out. We are accepting a lot of bad behavior and have the gall, if you will, to say it's for good. And then you wonder why we as a people suffer so badly. How can you care so much or allege to care so much for Black women when it was you, Vice President Harris, as the Attorney General in the state of California, wanted to incarcerate all Black mothers whose children decided to play hooky from school? We have short memories. All of these Black people, until President Biden stepped aside, was championing for him to be reelected, forgetting the fact that he told alleged Black leaders that they would have to get behind the Hispanic and then look surprised when there is an influx of migrants of that very ilk. He told you so. But again, we have short memories and we have short feelings. This is why I don't believe in forgiveness. It is something that has been pushed down people's throats. I don't forgive nobody for a goddamn thing. I don't care what you say and what you do, because you do it with intent. She has done things with intent. You already know what you're getting with the Republican Party. And I have to say this because now that there is a growth, if you will, of Black people who are also in support of a former President Trump. And by no means, you have a right to vote as you will. However, we have short memories. And they try to use sound bites to speak against the former president. And I give credit what credit is due. And we're going to show some videos a little later if this system cooperates with me. Again, they're doing a lot of construction on my street. And if you know anything about East New York, Brooklyn, all of our wiring is above ground. So there is a lot of things going on here. So I'm going to hope we can play these videos for y'all a little bit later. You also have white aggressionist women and men who are coming to the aid of foundational Black Americans and saying, hold on, you getting played here. You've been getting played. You know, I find it very ironic that
as Dr. Sukiana would say, it's very suspicious.
it's very suspicious. That's right. That so many of our people are wedded to the Democratic Party when it was the Democratic Party that, you know, sanctioned your enslavement, were part of kidnapping clubs, fought for you not to have the right to vote, murdered people in their name for you not to have the right to vote, were the ones who ushered in all of the Jim Crow laws that you all and your parents and grandparents and the ones before them had to go through, came by way of the Democratic Party. And I find that very ironic that these same voices are alleging to champion reparations, if you will. I mean, this is crazy, but we'll get into all of that a little bit later. My brother getting hot, you know, it is what it is, family. But
sis, before we go too deep,
go ahead, brother, because I see I'm freezing up. Go ahead.
I got to tell you, you killing it with that hat. That hat is fire. I just, before we go any further, I just had to give you props on the hat.
I see we both got a touch of red tonight. Yeah. Everything is in divine order, family around here. Everything is in divine order. Thank you, brother Tad, for that. But I see a lot of YouTubers now rocking fedoras, ladies. I'm seeing them. Quite a few of them. Don't bite the style. Don't bite the style, family. Don't bite the style. I was the first to do it. Let it be known.
That's right. That's right. But sis, it is funny that the conversation of reparations, because when I listen to these boule pundits talk and they speak against reparations, it's kind of hypocritical and contradictory. Then what is it that you're fighting for? If you're not, because they always invoking Dr. King's name, but Dr. King was a proponent for reparations. Dr. King knew and believed we should have reparations. But it's funny how everybody would love to say Dr. King's name, but won't stand on the principles Dr. King stood for, the principles that Dr. King eventually lost his life for. Or should I say he gave his life because he knew what was at stake.
Yep.
He knew what was at stake, but still moved forward to get us what we deserve. Meanwhile, people could hop the fence, skip the line. This is something Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about decades ago. And I'll never forget him breaking down, crying, saying, yo, you black people just don't get it. And here we are. Here we are. Anchor babies and migrants skipping the lines, getting housing, all of these beautiful homes they building in our communities, turning them vacant lots into high-rise apartments with all kind of amenities and nice lobbies and gyms inside the building and swimming pools. And they ain't for your black ass. They let you know it is not for you. They're for the criminals that can make it across the border, having anchor babies coming through, giving them all types of set-asides. And here it is. Our families, our aunties and uncles want to vote for somebody who's not even promising you anything for your vote.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, brother Tad. And, you know, everything you said is right and is that. Shout out to Dr. Filet and MWM. You can always catch her podcast on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page as well, as long with Brother Ray and the BK William Mackey History Club YouTube channel, also on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page. Yes, so you know, I'm finding it interesting, Brother Tad. I have to say this. Last week, I took a trip down to DC and Baltimore. Shout out to DC and B More.
Yeah.
Definitely had a good time down there. But I went with my swap sisters. Shout out to Team Swap. We went on our 10-year anniversary celebration. But anyway, we actually went on a tour of DC with KB Tours. Shout out to KB Tours and Miss Lynette Clark, who was our tour guide. I'm going to have some footage for you all next week so that you can see exactly some of the things that we found while we were out there. And also in the city of Baltimore. Now, I want to show this picture here. This is, let me see if I can remove the comment real quick. This is, Brother Tad, a time capsule that is at the King Memorial. And I know you visited the King Memorial before as well. So on the ground, there is a time capsule buried August 28th, 2011. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. They will open it in 50 years, which would be August 28th, 2061. Now, this is on the ground. So if you're ever visiting the King Memorial, look on the ground near your feet. One of the center blocks, you will see this there. Now, I brought this image up because I want you all to place significance to the date of August 28th. And, you know, why did they choose that day for the time capsule to be put in place and also to open it? I find that very, very interesting. But if you can remember some historical facts that took place on August 28th, you will know why. Let me see. One of the things that I do know is that Emmett Till was murdered on that day. Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech on the Mall on August 28th. Hurricane Katrina took place on August 28th. Chadwick Boseman passed away on August 28th. There is so much that happened. Princes Diana and Charles ended their divorce decree. Their divorce decree was issued on August 28th. So if you study the history, if you will, of August 28th, you will find it quite interesting as to why they chose that day. And I told my swap sisters, you know, because I was our tour guide for the Blacks in Wax Museum. We did our own tour because I am the board's historian. I'm the board's historian for a reason. But we talked about all the significant things that have happened on August 28th. So I want you all to add that to your homework assignments to research what happened on August 28th. Now, we cannot forget, even though it wasn't August 28th, I think it was August 20th or the 21st. I guess my sister Marcia can confirm that when she gets in here. But the Haitian Revolution also began. So I know we talked about sharing some things as far as Black August is concerned, but I want you all to understand that, you know, naming of streets, naming of bridges, naming of towns, all of these have historical references, and we should always remember that. Things are not by happenstance. They are designed that way. And if you've ever been on Professor Browder's Egypt on the Potomac tour of Washington, D.C., he also gives you an understanding of, you know, things, places, images that you're seeing that you may think, oh, you know, whatever, but nothing. Even, you know, the White House is on Pennsylvania Avenue, right, in DC. But, as I was talking to our tour guide, and, she also thanked me for my knowledge in contributing to the tour. But when you look at the White House and it being on Pennsylvania Avenue, why do you think they named it Pennsylvania Avenue? It's just not happenstance. The first White House was in the state of Pennsylvania. That was the first capital. So everything is, selective, but it is the ignorant who do not know what they see. And sometimes, family, you can take part in things, in rituals that you know nothing about. Just going about your day. You think, you may live on Myrtle Avenue, but who was Myrtle? Who was Quincy? Who was Livonia? I'm just naming streets here in New York. But I'm just saying, these are slave masters or leaders of industries, as far as industrial is concerned. So nothing is by happenstance. Nothing. We were on coming across, I forget what bridge it was, but we were on our way from DC to Baltimore. And no, excuse me, I'm wrong. We were in Newark, coming back to the city, and I noticed a street, MLK Street in Newark, but it crosses with Springfield. And so I had said to one of my swap sisters, I said, this is not happenstance. They always talk about Abraham Lincoln and Emancipation Proclamation and all that he alleged to have done. But it's not by happenstance that MLK crosses Springfield. And I was letting her know that that was the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, Springfield, Missouri. So nothing is by happenstance. You have to open your eyes and your ears and remember, get into your books, family, and see what's really, really going on so you can understand what's around you. Brother Tad, what is your take, on the identification of white supremacy in the Americas? As people go about their day, they're not even paying attention to what's around them. What are some of the things that you notice around you? Because I consider you a scholar as well. So what are some of the things that you notice as you go about your day?
Thank you, sis, for the compliment, because I like to think of myself as scholarly, but I lean on people like you and our brother Mike Graves, to get more information from. I sit at y'all feet and learn. But as you talk about Washington, D.C., I wish we had a map right now, because like I always say, when I came into the knowledge, it started with the Illuminati and the New World Order. So if we had the map right now, you would be able to see that the U.S. Capitol is lined up just like the eye and the pyramid on the back of the dollar. And not only that, but on top of the White House, the map is designed to have a pentagram on top. And in addition to that, almost anywhere in the US where you have a Washington Avenue, it's always going to cross with a Lafayette Avenue. And somewhere in that cross section, there's almost always a park there, some type of park, whether it's a playground or memorial park. And even in that area, you're sure to find a Masonic lodge. Now, where am I going with this? The United States of America, rather, is pretty much a baby in the world stage. And what we're doing is actually making our story. We're unpacking the layers that exist, because people will call us the greatest nation, but how did it come into power? We have to look at the criminal element. So even when you're dealing with U.S. law, anything that's ill-gotten based on their law is called the fruit of a tainted tree. So let's say the police run into your house. They find a dead body, guns, drugs, and you're smart enough to challenge that they entered your house illegally. Don't you know all that evidence can be dismissed, because that is considered the fruit of a tainted tree, since things wasn't obtained properly by their standards and their law? It's inadmissible in court. you would have to throw that out. Where am I going with this? How did this country get to be in power? They stole the land from one group of people and then stole another group of people and forced them to work the land to build this empire. This empire is new and it can be dethroned. It can be overran. The system can be unplugged. But you have to have the mindfulness and the wherewithal to understand what it is that needs to be done. Right now is the perfect time for us to truly create our own political system within our community. Us as being a nation within the nation, this is the prime opportunity. This is what Malcolm and so many other people spoke of. This is what Dr. King was talking about. But unfortunately, you have people. What was it? Steve Harvey that said it was Steve Harvey or Roland Martin that said that they have the radio on lock, talking about they bootleg,
Yes.
got this on lock. They're admitting to you that they're a little group, a small group that's feeding you misinformation because none of us are stupid. And that's the part that hurts the most, that they insult our intelligence as Black folks as if they know more than us because they got credentials from the open enemy. But we've always been mindful, even during our enslavement, when we couldn't read their English and write their English. Because Sister Keisha, you know me, I always said we could read and write. We just couldn't read and write their language. That was the whole purpose of the patchwork quilts and the way our hair was braided, because those were symbols that meant something, that communicated things to us in our language. That's why I don't like to say that we couldn't read and write. We couldn't read and write their language. Let's put it right. Let's get out of their perspective, because that's what got us lost right now. Thinking like them, imitating them, behaving like them, and operating like them. That's why we reward bad behavior, because who do we get it from? You see the song we open up with, Hate That Hate Produced. So I like to say that in our enslavement, though we couldn't read and write in their language, we were still observant. We still have a brain. We still survive. So we knew who they were and who we were dealing with, and we played the Jedi mind trick on them. We acted dumb. We acted as if we didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, we was doing what's necessary for our freedom and our survival behind closed doors. But again, our folks don't even want to read what we've been through. The first thing we say is, oh, it triggers me. I don't want to know about that slavery stuff. It's too painful. Well, guess what? Deal with it. Because if you think it's painful for you to read it, imagine what our ancestors went through. My grandfather, Ernest, just didn't like them folks because he grew up in the Jim Crow South. His grandparents were enslaved. So he remembers the story that his grandparents shared with him. And he remember how young white people treated him. All of this was within the law. So when you got somebody hopping over the fence coming in 2000 or even 1990 anything and cosplaying that you're a Black American, but you have no lineage, you have no oral history, you have no idea of what we were subjected to, our grandparents, great grandparents were subjected to. You don't know what we're fighting for. So please fall back. Don't jump the line and talk about you're the new leader and you're going to take us in this direction. Obama did it. When he went to the Congressional Black Caucus and told them, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And meanwhile, this day and age, today, August 22nd, 2024, you see people hopping the fence, getting checked soon as they get in here, committing crimes and allowed to flee the state and flee the country if they like, and still come back because the border's still open.
Facts. I was just reading on my way back Sunday. I was reading that they arrested a Kenyan man who was in prison in Kenya for murdering 42 Black women.
Yes.
But he running around here. This is crazy.
And that's what's going on around the world. They are emptying their prisons and sending them here. But I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, sis, I remember about 2016, maybe 2020, somewhere around there, somebody's talking about The Democrats is going to open the borders and let all of the criminals over here. And everybody called the man a xenophobe and said he's racist. But lo and behold, what do we have? We have gangs organized to delete NYPD. And, like, I got some friends and loved ones who's in NYPD. I don't respect it as a system,
well.
but I love my family members who are a part of that system, unfortunately. But here these people talking about they're going to run around and start deleting them. And they're showing you they have no problem with putting hands on them. But this is who the Dems want us to support. See, and I'm going to pass the mic back to you, but I got to say this. Black folks, I'm a conservative. I'm a black conservative, trying to conserve my way of life. I'm not a liberal. I believe black man with a black woman for black children. I believe in black family values. I'm a black conservative. I want to conserve and preserve the black family. When these people talk about liberals, when they talk about being a liberal, they're talking about anything goes. They want you to identify with other oppressed people because we're black. They want you to stay in a constant mindset of being a victim. So gay people have been victimized. That's your allies. Transgender folks have been victimized. Those are your allies. Pedophiles have been victimized. Those are your allies. No, they are not. They are not. And y'all not going to put that on our back. Talking about black people shouldn't hate because we've been oppressed since we've been here. You damn right we've been oppressed. But that don't mean we're going to align with degeneracy and deviance. Do not put that on me. But that's what the liberals want you to, they want you to accept that. They want you to accept confused men and women playing dress up, having access to our children to do all kind of fornication, because a lot of stuff y'all don't know is they're really trying to legitimize pedos. They're really trying to make it a preference and legitimize it and not make it a criminal offense. And if we keep going in the direction that these liberals want, it's going to be a free. Now, I'm not saying that Trump is our savior. I'm not saying that at all, because you have to be your savior. But at the same token, you got to rock with what makes sense to you. Get out your emotions. Stop with I don't like that group. I don't like that group. You got to do what makes sense for you and your family, because everybody's doing it but us. I'm not mad at the migrants from coming over. I'm mad at the folks that opened the border and let them in. But I'm off my soapboxes. We got company. What up, Sister Marcia? What up, Brother Black?
We got the team in the building. We got the team in the building. Brother Blacksmith.
Yo, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. Sister
Yeah, sorry I missed you. Sorry, I missed y'all 2 weeks ago. I was a little out of order, but I got it right again. Sister Marcia, what up?
Peace, family. Peace, Third Black Talk on this fabulous Blacktastic Thursday. Hope all is well. Keep up the good knowledge that we are sharing today.
Sister Marcia was starting mad trouble when I was away. She had me up to like 3 o'clock in the morning, sending me stuff, get me riled up. She knows it's gonna get me riled up. She knows. Speaking of while we were saying, like again, I said I'm gonna have a video for y'all next week, put some things so y'all can see some of the things that I found out there. But the Afro-American newspaper, a staple out of Baltimore, actually. Their headquarters was moved to DC. And so it became a historical site. A black man bought the property, refurbished it, and turned it into an Airbnb. So I had the pleasure of staying at a historical site. So again, I got a lot to tell y'all next week, but I'll put that all together. So I want to know from, Brother Black and Sister Marcia, your thoughts on the shenanigans of these black political pundits and commentators, you going crazy over this Kamala Harris campaign. We'll start with Sister Marcia. Give us the 1-2, and we'll follow up with Brother Blacksmith.
I have actually not been following the shenanigans that is happening online or on any screen, because it boils my water, and I need to stay in peace because
oh no, You've been boiling my water. We boiling her water. Let me tell you, Sister Marcia be sending me stuff all night. I'm telling you right now. She don't sleep either. I don't think none of us on this platform ever get a good night's sleep. But I'm just saying, she start with me, we start with her. What are your thoughts, Sister Marcia, on these folks going crazy over Kamala Harris?
Okay. These people are asleep. And as soon as they see, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I can't understand it. I can't fathom it. Because us as a collective people are in a state of dysfunction and insanity and live in delusion. You have these people who constantly prove themselves to you, and yet you're knocking on their doors, parading them around as if they're going to be your savior. Like we've said so many times before, save yourself, because if you're looking for these political people to be your allies, they will not. They are going to align with the person that gives them the most money. They don't think about the people. They don't think about their community. They don't think about their family, because at the end of the day, their family will also reap the conditions that we are all falling into. So with that said, I think it's a whole day of shenanigans. And I am disappointed that we continue to fall for shenanigans as if we don't read. Oh, Trump is going to bring Project 2025. Project 2025 has been inactive for more than 50 years, brothers and sisters. I don't know what playbook you've been reading or what playbook you've been sleeping under, but you have been living within the idea of a Project 2025 for a very long time, yet you don't see that. You feel like, oh, he's going to do it, Project 2025. If you were in New York under Koch, you know what Project 2025 looks like already. You don't need them to show that to you. If you were living under Clinton, you know what Project 2025 is. And best to believe, we all saw the lines written on the paper, on whatever line you're looking at. If it's your events horizon, you've seen it with Obama. Right? Your black man, finally president, da 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 da. I told y'all before, I was for it. I was there. I was like, yep, this black man, finally a black man. He's gonna think for us, he's gonna be for us. And he gave us nothing. He gave the Jewish people so many riches and gave you the Smithsonian. Now go look at your artifacts as if our artifacts haven't been placed in museums before, and no institution to help us build nation, to rebuild what was created for us. And so it is our job to do better, to look beyond, because bringing what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion, was it Waka Flocka? Who were all these people that they brought out for the national convention when they were giving out the delegates? All of these celebrities have no intention for you, and they were all paid to come out. They didn't come out just because. They were all given a check, and yet you're still not understanding your role. And I would say that we don't need to vote at all. You just need to watch the shenanigans, continue the shenanigan, because you are 13% of the US population, whether you are an immigrant or whether you are FBA, and yet you're not getting nothing out of it. So stop with the craziness. It's foolery, it's shenanigans, it's buffoonery, and everybody is happy about it. And then to like, I think I shared a clip where they had this man in a wheelchair, and his auditory skills weren't great, but he's like, Harris, what's the other guy's name? Vote for them. And I'm like, you're placating on people. And here's my poor son like, oh yeah, look, for me. And no, that's not for you. That's not the things that you need. And it's unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate situation. The next 75 days is going to be torture because, like I said before, I'm not talking politics with nobody because nobody understands. If you haven't read a book, if you haven't read Medical Apartheid, if you haven't read New Jim Crow, if you haven't read Know Thyself, if you haven't read a book, please, we cannot have these discussions because it's torturous. And those are my thoughts.
I feel you, sis. Sis on fire. She mad. She mad. I told you Sister Marcia was uptight. She be up 3 o'clock in the morning. That's how I know. Brother Blacksmith, your commentary on, what's going on here. Let me see. There you go.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay.
Yeah.
My answer is going to be a lot longer than Sister Marcia's. I believe it's a 50-year plan for where we at right now, because I addressed this 2 weeks ago on the show. Actually 3, because I wasn't on I was on for a minute, but 3 weeks ago when I told you how to look up the name Kamal Arush. One of y'all can look it up. Sister Keisha, I suggest it be one or the other so you can continue manning the wheels of steel, if you will. Now, with that said, with that 50-year plan, we have the experience of, nobody denied it, but if Kamala Harris is really who the next president is slated to be then all those plans were made for today so that we could be talking exactly like Marcia just said. And then the cosmic flash is going to say F all that, and then we're going to be where we need to be. So that I'm done with my answer.
Good. Exactly. You did mention that. And again, for those of you who want to know exactly, what my brother be talking about with solar flares, there is a clip on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page that will give you a bit more of an understanding, if you will, so that you can really be in the know. Y'all funny in these comments. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Y'all real funny. Y'all funny. She messing with you, brother Black. Brother Alvin, I do not bring in the solar flares. You already.
Oh, I'm brother Anunnaki for her. Did y'all hear me? I'm brother Anunnaki already.
There you go. Shout out to brother Kev and the South Kakalaki family. He says the biggest atrocity Obama did was bailed out the bankers who took those people's homes, and today Kamala is trying to push for first generational home ownership, which has nothing to do with us. Absolutely. First home buyer programs for these. Listen. That's why I say, if voting can be listed as a criminal offense, a lot of y'all be behind bars under the RICO Act, and rightfully so. Because you keep selecting these folks that are doing harm and damage to us. Like, I just can't fathom how people came out so heavy to advocate for, I'm not going to say, I'm going to leave that for Brother Black, but to advocate for a man who pretty much told you he ain't doing a goddamn thing for you. That's what he said. Go to YouTube, family. Again, we did a very, very in-depth analysis of current President Biden. So much so, YouTube pulled our goddamn video. They couldn't say we were liars. They just didn't like the content. So I'm just saying, we got to be very careful. Excuse me. There's some motorcycles going past me. Excuse me. That's New York for you. But anyway, we have to stop. We have to stop. This is very, very dangerous. And I see a lot of people are tired of the shenanigans. Didn't Roland Martin get pulled up on by somebody? He was, talking real greasy in these Twitter spaces.
I think a young brother named Jamal Green.
What's his name, Brother Tad?
I think the young brother name was Jamal Green.
Tell him what happened, Brother Tag. Go ahead.
Well, he was just talking about black folks should vote for people who's going to give us tangibles, and we should go, pretty much what we're saying. Go with demands. Don't just blindly go vote. And Roland Martin chose to jump on the young brother's Twitter and call them stupid and foolish, all these things. And the young brother pulled up where Roland Martin was at an event and told him, yo, let's have a conversation now. You called me stupid. Let's talk now. And of course, he did the beat, and some chick jumped in front. And this is the thing I hate, when men are talking and women jump in the middle as if it's going to get physical, and they making more noise than the two men talking, because she's like, get security, get security. No, sometimes these dudes got to get checked. It reminds me when Brother Ashe saw Dr. Sukiana and just approached him. He wasn't on a rah-rah. It's only when people make it bigger than it is, because people know they're defending the person that's doing wrong. So it's a cry for help. And that's what happened with Roland Martin. He got addressed, and it wasn't, the brother, you can look and tell he's not on that type of time. I think he probably defended himself if he needed to, but Roland Martin is no threat to nobody. There's no threat to nobody. So,
he did the same thing to that young man in Georgia. I don't think it was Atlanta, but in Georgia.
Yeah, the young brother that took community control of the vacant lots and built the school from the ground up. Yeah, Roland Martin was telling him why he can't do it. And I forgot, that young brother was about 18, 19 years old when he did that. Maybe 21 the oldest. But this is the thing.
He was 19, 20 about. He wasn't older than, he wasn't legal yet.
That's what I'm saying. 21 the oldest.
Yeah. Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
They're always trying to deter our people from taking action, from having a do for self mentality. Meanwhile, the boule is sitting here telling us to ask our open enemy for permission to take care of ourselves, our family, and our community. Brother, I hope that's fruit juice and not the Kool-Aid you drinking. I hope you're not drinking the Kool-Aid. Next thing you're going to be telling me Kamala Black.
This is the Kool-Aid that break into everybody's house on Family Guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Bad hombres. Y'all see this? They starting already. I thought we was
Sister Keisha, you know why he doing?
He coming later. Go ahead.
You know why he doing that? Because he ain't had me on the OG Wisdom podcast yet. By the way, great show, the last one. I saw it a few days ago. Yeah.
Got you coming, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. You coming.
All right.
You coming. First spaceship landing, we gonna have you report live. Look, but hold on, Brother Black. We joking. Goodness. And the facts of the matter is, real rap, I think in the next 10 to 15 years, they're going to say that we've made contact. We've been in contact. I think because they already said they made contact.
Yep.
You got to find that stuff. But I think they're going to start being honest about the inner workings, because the reality of the matter is, I think everybody is under a spell. I think folks who took that jab really numbed their mind, short circuit their reticular activating system in their brain, because it's so much stupidity going on. It's like, yo, this can't be real. This really can't be. And meanwhile, they're talking about, well, first of all, if you vote for Kamala, she's not a good leader. She's not a good leader. She don't have what it takes to be aggressive or stand firm.
Then she has the biggest turnover of staff than anyone ever in the White House. They keep quitting.
Yeah, because she's a horrible leader. Mm-hmm. So here you want to stand and talk to Kim Jong-un. You want to talk to Vladimir Putin. you want to talk to strong men who won't stand there and look at you like, Lord.
You know, us Americans. That's what she's going to do.
That's what she's going to do. And they're like, and you know what's crazy, Sister Marcia? Because they're really laughing at us, because they're like, yo, they're turning their boys to girls and think they want beef with us.
Who's going to be in these militaries? Because, Sister Keisha, I know I sent you that video of these cadets that were flaming all over the place. I don't understand what's happening to this world. I don't know where the men are. I'm just so confused. I don't understand what women are accepting in their lives. And I know I'm not gonna be like, oh, on some mighty horse. I've accepted some foolery, but I also understand how to walk away from the foolery too. But this level of shenanigans is just getting, oh my God. And as brothers Tad said, they're under a spell. And if you ever watch like V, right? In V, they show you this part where the people are accepting bliss, accepting the dumbness, so that the aliens could walk around them and they don't see it. And you know, what's the name of that movie that tells you obey, obey, and you can only see through your glasses and stuff like that? All of these things are like colliding into one space, and people are just not witnessing it. They're just like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, put my head down, pull myself by the bootstraps. But where are you pulling yourself to if you can't get a community to work together? If the people can't operate together, if the people can't do things together, if we can't form, you know, a block security or some type of management for our community or in our homes, and we're not going nowhere but straight to the nuclear weapons gate and say, thank you for this experience. I hope to come back again. But this is crazy right now. It is too crazy. And I don't know what else to say.
I saw a video, part of it, maybe a few hours ago, maybe 2 hours before the show started. I think it's Eugene docu-stories, if I'm not mistaken, where there was a white lady. It starts with a white lady, younger white lady, maybe in her early 30s, talking about the same thing I was talking about a month, Keisha, on the show, when I said how ridiculous the food prices is now. We paying 2 and 3 times what we paid before the pandemic started. And basically, the point she was making is that all of us as Americans, like Tad said a minute ago, have to unite against inflation. And then, you know, how these immigrants is coming in here. I saw another video. I may have mentioned this before on the show because it was a while ago I saw it, and then now I'm starting to see it more and more. People are seeing these receipts that these migrants is getting, and they got like $10,000 in accounts. Like, you can't even speak English. You got here like 6 months ago. How you got $10,000 in an account? I don't even got $10,000 in the damn bank. Or, you know, I never had $10,000 in the bank at one time.
And every month.
How you got that like that now?
And every month
Yeah.
they're getting a stipend. Now school is starting in New York City. They're giving them clothes allowances for the children to go to school. They are making way for people. And again, my parents came in as immigrants. They didn't jump a fence. They came in through legal ways, but they were afforded all of these luxuries that people are receiving today. I just don't understand. And people are just sitting by and accepting everything. Oh, you go to school, they're going to teach your children whatever they're going to teach your children, and you can't say no to it, or you won't say no to it. There are no school boards. And even if there was a PTA, the PTAs don't even operate. Parents don't participate. There is no participation in our community for our community. And it's going to wreak havoc on us. And we sit there and say, well, I'll go to church and church is going to save me. Church can't even save you because your pastor's pocket is being lined by a politician. So there's no saving grace right about now.
And you know what's so crazy, Sister Marcia? Because even when we talk about reparations, she said she's gonna have a meeting to have a conversation,
right?
To do a study.
A study of what? A
bunch of
study of oppression for 400 years against people.
No.
And you have documentations. You have documentations. You have postcards of people being lynched that went through federal law, right? You're mailing these things. So through the Federal Postal Service, there's documents. People were assassinating people and having parties during the assassination. And you want to study that? You want to study an assassination? Thank you.
Well, my sister Marcia, in my opinion, how it looks to me is that's the perfect cover to tell N words, because y'all get mad at me when I say it. N words, we ain't giving y'all jack, this for them.
But
I
that's
mean,
fine.
excessive.
The thing is, that's fine. Say that. Be up.
It ain't fine to me.
No, I agree. No.
You see, you projecting now. No. Hold on. You are projecting.
I'm
Go ahead, finish.
No, what I'm saying
Yes.
is, I would prefer you be open and honest than you.
That's projection. That's how you are.
Hold up, Black. You
That's
can't
why I
argue
said
with her.
it's
Only I can
projection.
argue with her. Only I can argue with her, Black, not you.
So, Brother Black, you would prefer So, Brother Black, you would prefer her to do what? Would you not want her to tell you the truth?
Hold on. Be specific with your question so I can answer it. Go ahead, say it again.
Would you not prefer her to tell you the truth or say that she's going to study about their condition?
Okay, you ready for this answer?
Yes.
I've lived long enough in my life to know how reality is and how it plays from their side, not from what you're thinking. I told y'all this a few weeks ago on this very show. We talk in these ways and then we act like the Boule, the Illuminati, and all these other controlling factors are not in existence and they can do what they want. It don't work like that. If we know about what I just said, then we know how it actually works, and we need to stop talking rhetorically and do what we got to do so that we avoid the traps.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. And I think she already told you, no, I ain't doing nothing just for black people. Are you serious? Her and Obama said they ain't doing
like Obama. We just went through that 10 minutes ago.
Though the rainbow folks got what they wanted, though the migrants
exactly.
The stand-in Hispanics got what they wanted, the Asians got what they wanted, the small hats got what they wanted, and they said, Negro, get back to the back of the line.
Tad's favorite guy, Dr. Sukiyana, broke that down numerous times. The reason for Obama was to have a transgender in the White Office, to dupe all the people, to take over Africa when AFRICOM was live and popping before the Chinese and the Indians started coming into it, and to give the gays all the rights. Those three reasons. He said that throughout his whole administration. Whether you like him or not, it played out to see that when we look in hindsight, that's exactly how it went. So when are we gonna stop talking in this rhetorical way of they supposed to do this because of that? We already know she ain't Black American, she's an Indian. Just because she was born in the States don't mean she have the culture or whatever. She was raised in a Hindi household.
And in Canada at that.
Exactly. She finished at McGill University.
You know, and that's why I say it's so important that we do what's necessary. We got to stop.
No, but wait a minute. She went to Howard. She went to HBC.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You're
right.
That's later in her life. That's not what she went to public school. That's not her foundation.
But I also say, you know, Tuskegee has the largest veterinarian school. That's an HBCU, and only 3% of those students matriculate to become veterinarians. Everybody else in there is white. So do they claim an HBCU as well?
Time.
Yeah.
We're going to need you to go to the tapes now. We're going to need you to start rolling these tapes, because I think, and I don't know if I sent you the video or if you already got it locked and loaded, because you know me and you be there, Sister Keisha. There was a video where an Indian said that he shaved his head and cosplayed to be Black just so that he could get accepted to a school. Did you see that video, Sister Keisha?
Yep, I have it on our YouTube channel. He said, and I quote, so that I can get a full ride education at a HBCU.
He
But again,
pretended to be black.
people like to, with the BS. But, I like to let the ancestors tell y'all because, sometimes you just don't remember. We have short memories around here. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds TV. But here we go.
Position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first, and they put you last. Because you're a chump. You're in a position.
Okay, you said.
You put them first and they put you last because you're a chump. Just like we've been telling you. And the same people like Roly-Poly Martin would say they love Malcolm. You're a disgrace to Malcolm. You're a disgrace. You should take your forehead as big and wide as it is and ram it into the first wall that you see, fool.
Hey, Sister Keisha, I want to add something.
Hold on, because we about to bring our guests on. I'm about to hold on, Brother Black. I got to get it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nobody in a goddamn dress as a man who built his livelihood on that can tell me anything about a goddamn vote. Can tell me anything about being moral. Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, a man who was notorious for cheating on his wives. Again, adultery is a crime and it is immoral. You can't tell me nothing, Steve Harvey. You should have been there for Shirley Strawberry to let her know that her husband was a criminal. But that's another story for another time. Don't tell me nothing, Angela Rye, lettuce, tomatoes on the side, about who I should put in position of power to represent me and my people. You keep your goddamn mouth closed. You don't have enough legacy to tell me anything. You don't have enough work in the political arena other than running your goddamn mouth to tell me anything until you form your own goddamn party and put your own brand up for the party. Until you step and put your hat in the real ring to deal with these real boule, these real races, these real, as Brother Black say, skull and bone folks. When you really in the arena, then you can tell me something. Until then, shut your damn mouth up and keep it closed. Stay in the closet. You belong in there with the rest of these freaks and nuts out here. But I'm off my soapbox. We got our brother coming in here. The legend himself. The man who I look to for inspiration to keep this thing going, because sometimes it get rough. And I'll be wanting to punch people in their esophagus, but I don't. You know, the man who taught us how to do this. You know, he's been in the game a long time, going back to the blog talk days. You know, when we first started to do a straight black talk and thorough black talk, I went to him. How should I do this? What platform should I use? I went to the master. He, in my opinion, is also a scholar, a historian, former military. Y'all better get on your feet and welcome the legend of Do the Knowledge Radio, our brother, Knowledge Born Our Law. What's good with you, brother? Welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge family.
I put my hand on my heart and my forehead when I say Black Power, because I was like, who is Sister Keisha, Sister K Fighter talking about me? Oh, I was like, wait a minute. She's like, I was like, all right. She said Doggy Diamonds. Wait, so when I was trying to figure out, wait a minute, like, so yes, I'm honored to be here as I say Black Power. Is that still okay? Because folks is out here.
We still black, bro. Still black.
Okay, all right. So I'm honored to be here in the spirit of Dr. Huey P. Newton on today. Honored to be in that revolutionary spirit in the month of Black August. All of these things were a dedication and a motivation and an inspiration, if I could use one of them fly words, for why Do the Knowledge Radio was formed, why Do the Knowledge Radio was shaped, and why the imagination sparking that divine Black intelligence that Dr. Amos Wilson, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us about awakening the genius of the African child, all comes in full circle. So I'm honored to be here in the space with people I respect, love, honor, shoot for, lay down my life for. In these uncertain times, folks are switching up like draws, switching up like draws. Hopefully they changing their draws out here, because it's a dirty game. It's a dirty, dirty game. So honest to you, my warrior soul sister, I call her my modern day Fannie Lou Hamer. I don't care about, because I can fight and I can shoot. So I can back it up. You understand what I'm saying? My Uncle Tad, who reminded me that we've been Black all our life. You understand what I'm saying? And on the spark day of the Haitian Revolution, okay? So honors to those in the spirit of resistance, honor and love. So honors to you, Sister Marcia, and the one who don't take no slack, okay? No slack, ain't no faking or don't make it. You understand what I'm saying, my brother Blacksmith? So peace and honor to the family. I'm glad to be here on Thorough Black
Peace,
Talk.
brother. Knowledge born.
We glad to have you with us, brother. Like I say, you a legend in this game. Before we get into what you came to share with the people, just tell people, how long you've been doing broadcasting. How long you been in this game?
Well, broadcasting, this is, as far as the platform is concerned, is 9 years. But as far as sharing our stories with the world, since birth, my mother told me I was speaking in the crib. I was speaking in the crib and interested in our story and our plight. I literally came here on the planet for our people and our people only. And, that sometimes it rubs people the wrong way, but I don't care nothing about none of that. You understand what I'm saying? I can help them rub them the right way. You understand what I'm saying? Because we get into these spaces, we not pro-black and not anti-white. We pro-righteousness and anti-devilishment. How far do you have to look for righteousness, and how far do you have to look for devilishment? You ain't got to look far. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got folks out here acting unalike, what's your duty as a civilized person? What's your duty as a civilized man? You see what I'm saying? So, the African adage that I love, no one loves a warrior until his enemy at the gate. The enemy ain't at the gate no more. We're encircled and we being trampled upon. So how can we raise our fist in a space of solidarity with those who came before us? Those who came before us fought. They fought at every single juncture. We're honoring spaces. We're honoring people. We're honoring personages. We're honoring mindsets of those who fought. They fought with every bit of the fiber of their being. You understand? Like, if they fought with their food, they fought with their clothing, they fought with their shelter, they fought with every means available to resist. To resist. We start looking at the past like we didn't live through the time frames of resistance. Like when it happened with Sean Bell, it happened to us. You understand? When it happened with Rodney King, it happened to us. Like we can go down the list of names. There was a response. There wasn't a reaction. You see what I'm saying? You see the folks in the virtual space, they see something happen, they got their phone out, they're doing all that. It was a response. We come from still that last line of defense of response. Something you did something, somebody responded to you appropriately. There's a difference between respond and react. React, that means act again. What are you acting like out here? Respond means there's a penalty for your actions. So strategically, when this corporation wants to move on somebody, they send out their missionaries. And if the missionaries don't come back with what their intended target is, they send their mercenaries. You understand what I'm saying? So if I show up to the dice game, we playing CeeLo, and it's 1,500 in the bank, and I say, stop it, and I ace, I don't want to pay that money. I'm pulling my pistol out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing something to respond appropriately with that threat. Rest in peace to our Baba, Minister of Information, Steve Coakley Sr., peace and blessings be upon him. He said, intention plus capability equals threat. Intention plus capability equals threat. So I can intend all day long to have something happen, something come into fruition, but if I don't have the means or the capability to be able to bring that into fruition, that's empty. That's empty talk. That ain't thorough black talk. That's empty talk. And we hear a lot of cats running around here with a bunch of empty talk and fake promises and false threats. They don't have the capability. Some of them ain't even got the intention. They ain't even got the intention. So intention versus plus capability equals threat. So now we out of those who were a threat. In whatever space of resistance means that we utilize, we use those mediums to be dangerous, to be a disruptor. So the force and power of media, we see media work across the world. We can go through the annals of history. I promise you, in the midst of any uprising, any upheaval, any space of resistance, there was a psychological proper propaganda campaign that was there. Oh, am I bugging? Am I tripping? The rise of the Ku Klux Klan came from what film? Did it come from? Did it come from a film? Did it boost recruiting? Did it make a hero and a villain somewhere? Were they applauding? Were they cheering? So that mass media manipulation tool that they utilized was the same silver screen that we go take our loved ones to. Funded by that group of protected class of people that you can't open your mouth and say nothing about.
Small hats.
Right. So they showed the cone heads on the screen, funded by those hook nose. You see what I'm saying? Those small hats. So literally the duty and the function of the media and the arts is to be a standing, sounding block of what the times truly is. Because they can write anything in the history books, but the duty of the media and the duty of the artists is to weaponize the mind, to engage thought, to propel action and independent thought in a way that it is provocative and it's attractive for the people to understand the day and time and what must be done. So Do Now's Radio was created from that space, from the space of my mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, my family generations, to be a proper propaganda tool, to be a voice to the voiceless, and to sing the songs of the young sung, the heroes and the sheroes that exist amongst us. Because if you could tell me about Malcolm and you can't tell me about your grandmother, go have a seat, fam. You need to do some research. You need to do some research. You need to reestablish your connection with your family and your bloodline and find out who's in your bloodline, who you descend from, and who you're a representation of before we get into the others. I love Black people because I love my mother and my father. You understand what I'm saying? My grandmother and my grandfather, the maternal and paternal lineage. I can speak about what I'm doing because my mother and father was doing it on the same streets before I did it. So if you want to check my resume, go ask my mama. You understand? Am I supposed to be here or am I fronting for the internet? You see what I'm saying? Ask my siblings, ask my family members, ask those who seen me come into existence and those who've watched me ever since my development. So these stories are tied. These stories are shared. You understand what I'm saying? We have a relationship. We have relationships that are real that transcend the virtual spaces. So the reason why I received such a reception is because we got love for one another. And the thing that's missing in the spaces, especially in the virtual spaces, is the virtual spaces of regard, respect, and love. Because the charlatans snuck in on the love frequency and it was faking. They snuck in on the love frequency. He's like, all right, we're gonna welcome you in. All right, whatever your name is, whoever, whatever you're calling yourself. But then when it's time to show and prove, you showed and proved that you were not qualified. You were not qualified. Before I ever spoke to the world, my mother spoke first. My mother spoke first. It's out there. It's available. You can see it. You can see her. You understand what I'm saying? You can see her speaking and doing the work, the healing work that she did. My father was a political prisoner. He died in prison. So he was in the streets of New York and New Jersey as a young revolutionary. Right? The apple don't fall too far from the tree. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like he was a young revolutionary in the streets of New York and New Jersey in our neighborhoods, helping people get off dope, helping, women getting out of prostitution, fighting pimps and all kind of stuff like that. With the mind and the heart that he had, he used his platform in life, like all of you, use your life to do what you do. We ain't use your fingers to do what you do. Use your life to do what you do. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all paid the cost to speak the way that you speak. But we find ourselves encountering folks along the way who came in on that love frequency. They came in there and it was like, oh, yeah, we love Huey, we love Malcolm, we love Dr. Kyler, peace and blessings be upon them all. And then they tarnish their legacy with their actions and with their speech. They contradict themselves in their speech and in their ways and action. So they appear as true and living, but literally are snakes of the grafted type. So the short answer is, online it's been 9 years now, but in the community, at least 3 decades. Verifiable.
Love it. Definitely verifiable, family. Definitely verifiable. And it's important that you mention that because, as you previously stated, we got a lot of fake ones. And we got to start pulling up. And I like what I'm seeing. A lot of people were getting pulled up on, who vetted you? Who vetted you? And it's a sister who just pulled up on, somebody who had diarrhea of the fingers behind the keyboard. She went to the dude's house with a bullhorn. I don't know if y'all seen that, but she pulled up. That's why I love listen, y'all better leave my cowboy hats and my fedoras alone. I'm trying to tell you, she pulled up. She wasn't playing. So enough is enough. But I want to, brother Knowledge, talk about some things that you got going on that's on the horizon that our people need to know about. First of all, before you even get into what we coming to talk about tonight, let the people know here how they can be in touch with Do the Knowledge Radio, where you streaming at, how they can follow you, all of that.
Well, thank you for that. They can catch me on YouTube, the way it's spelled right here, DOTHA. That's that. That A is for African. Folks they be like, oh, DOTHE. They get that European stuff all mixed up, twisted up, mixed up, fixed up. I don't know who you find if you put THE, but you ain't gonna find me. Right? So DOTHA KNOWLEDTERADIO. Do the Knowledge Radio on all platforms, and you can reach me at Knowledge 105 357 on Instagram. But just subscribe to YouTube. And if you're looking to share your story as we get into that, my audacious goal that's been put on my forehead by my ancestral lineage is to tell 1 million Black stories righteously. 1 million. 1 million Black stories from around the globe. So if you're looking to share your story and be a part of the proper propaganda campaign that exists out there, get in contact with me and we will make it happen.
Love it, brother. So let people know, what you got going on right now, how they can, tap in. Well, what's this about? I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead. Tell the people what this is.
Oh man, that's look. It feels so beautiful to see it. I've been promising Sister K Fighter, Uncle Tad, Sister Marcia, Blacksmith. I'm writing 5 books, right? Writing 5 books, 5 documentaries, working together 5 books. So in the interim, because I don't come from the fake town, somebody gonna punch you in your chest or your face if you keep on talking and you don't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So I said I needed something that's a proof of concept of what's to come. So we dealing with spaces of identity crisis. We're dealing with the hip hop question. Look, we asked the hip hop question, and then all of a sudden, hip hop becomes the biggest discussion in the world. We had the identity situation. Folks is dealing with identity politics right now. You see what I'm saying? And we asked the question about the N word and the B word and some of the other subjects. And you see people now, they're on the quest. Everybody got the costume on and they're cosplaying. You see what I'm saying? They're cosplaying because, unfortunately, through psychological damage, we allow people to cosplay. We allow people to pick out an afro and kneel, and we stand with somebody who's kneeling. You see what I'm saying? Like we let somebody tell them that they was cooking collard greens in their bathtub and all of this stuff. Like they shuck, they jive, they play the game because some of us like a good game and we like a good story. You see what I'm saying? Or we like some soothsaying, some slick talk. You see what I'm saying? So unfortunately, we find ourselves in that position, and I'm like, okay, we still have a duty. We have a duty to our future generations. So in the interim, while I'm doing all of the research and compiling the data for these documentaries that I'm working on and the books that I'm writing, I wrote 5 books in the possible, like a space hand, 5 books in the possible, in a 5-book series entitled Voices of the Diaspora. So these are short reads, and they're there for you to be able to peruse, to engage your mind. If you don't have the tools in your arsenal right there to be able to articulate what you need to articulate to your young people, I made it short, I made it concise, and I made it with the mind of this generation and their learning style. So these were ebooks. Traditionally, the ebooks, you do the scroll. I listened to Sister Keisha talk to us about fashion enough. I was like, nah, I can't be coming out here raggedy with the same T-shirt. You see what I'm saying? With my joint already down here with it and with the ebook feel, right? Because, look, Sister Keisha and Tad, they'll clown you. They love you, but they're going to clown you like, hey, fam, all right? You understand what I'm saying? So the concept behind it, the mind frame about it was to have it look like book form. And if you click on it, you can hear the actual pages turn. So the layout, it looks like a book. It puts you in the mind of a book and not just the notepad kind of situation where you're scrolling for 8 days and you're like, all right, man, like after 2 pages, ain't nobody gonna do that. But if you see that, you can hone in and it look like you got the book in your hand and you're turning the pages. So visually, you look at the aesthetic, and shout out to my brother, one of the greatest illustrators. I sent him this, and he put it to life. My brother D Banks, man, he's a phenomenal. He did all of the graphics in regards to that. And you look at the visuals, you're engaging the mind and the heart at the same time. So you're looking at people that you respect or people that you need to do some research about. You see what I'm saying? So to engage your mind in a way to be able to give you a snapshot for you to be able to go do some research. So that's the visual aesthetic. There's also music that's there. Music to engage the mind, because we know that attention span is like a half a second. So if it ain't visually and aesthetically pleasing, and then you click on it, you don't hear something to keep you engaged, you're like, wait a minute, like, what am I listening to? You see what I'm saying? What am I listening to? So you hear something to engage your ears, and then there's a video at the end of each book. This is volume 5, and volume 5 is the longer version because I wanted to give the STEAM, the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, the ode that it was due. So, flipping through, we got a phenomenal artist speaking to you, my brother Kai Zodiac, in regards to sacred geometry. And then at the end, there's a visual video of him rhyming. So, like, literally, you put all of these things together. Like, right there, if you click on that video, that's a video as well. So 5-book series to start from entrepreneurship. Volume 2 is dedicated to the Black woman, to the African woman. That's where we come from. There's no honor for our mothers anymore. There's no honor for our sisters anymore. They're out here being done wrong, and we're not responding appropriately. The one thing that they galvanized into the mind with the improper propaganda campaign of that D.W. Griffith Birth of a Nation cinematic space is that if something happened to their women, they was going to respond. They were going to respond. So that's what heralded them in their mind. So we got these adages: a nation can rise no higher than its woman, and you teach a woman, you teach a nation. If all these things are true, how do we find ourselves speaking the same way Al-Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz, brother Omar Wiley, affectionately known to the world as Minister Malcolm X, peace and blessings be upon him, saying that this Black woman is the most disrespected and most unprotected? How are we still having these discussions in 2024? How is it still true? How is it still true? So the mobilization of the fighting force that is necessary in regards to protecting our elders, our women, and children is something to engage the mind. So if the womb isn't protected, we don't have the womb reverence. We got folks masquerading out here, acting like they can cosplay and be a better woman than a woman. And fools is out here running around. I'm telling you where the nooses need to be at. And y'all fought the fight where people thought y'all was crazy. Y'all was on the front line fighting that agenda tooth and nail. And look what came to fruition. Right. In the absence of, they like, okay, this ain't in the forefront no more. They Barack Babian right back to sleep. And come play dress up and push these agendas intentionally. So volume 2 is intentional. It was created intentionally for young Black women, young Black men to restore the honor and the reverence that come along with it. I don't care what these small hats got going on out here, because that's who fund all these other agendas. This will got you make you look like a criminal and a slave and a hoochie mama, a hoochie daddy, and all these other things that you see out here by design. Because when you go to the range, as we know, the targets are Black. They're trained to see you as a threat. So cinematically and then environmentally, they're trained to see you as a threat. So they look at us as a threat. So when you got that tool or pole or ratchet or whatever you have, you're looking to point that weapon system at somebody who looks just like you. And so is the rest of the world. Because all of the military fighting forces, this is what they're trained to do. So they're doing what they're trained to do. So if you don't retrain your mind and recondition your mind for that kind of eventuality and situation, you're going to be walking around here thinking you got a friend. And we know what Baba John Henry Clark said, peace and blessings be upon him. If you want a friend, look in the mirror. That helping hand is at the end of your arm. So if you cutting yourself off from your own arm, I don't stand a chance. So volume 2, again, dedicated to our mothers, to our sisters, to our daughters, to our nieces, to our cousins, to those family members that we incarnate into the physical world from. Like, how else you got here? How else you got here? You understand? So where is the reverence in regards to what that is? So that's volume 2. That's volume 2 right there. And then volume 3, we get into the revolutionary. Volume 3 and volume 4 is revolutionary. So entrepreneurship comes from your divine mind. Like, okay, so what's in your mind? What's in the womb of your mind? And then volume 2 dedicated to the womb that you descend from and ascend from. Volume 3 and volume 4, you're dealing with your understanding and you're dealing with your culture. How do you live now? How do you live? You come out of this womb. Are you in a protective posture to be in a position to be able to be them super predators that they call us that y'all voted for? They call us super predators, right? We have to make that true again. We have to make that great again. You understand? The predator's job was to secure that mother. The predator's job. You was in that warrior class. You had a protection to the alien mother. So they called us super predators, and they had to bring us to a heel. So we voted for the 94 crime bill. We lived through the stop and frisk and all of the other stuff that came along with the RoboCops that y'all clutching your pearls for and putting your chucks on and raised all that money for. This is what you're funding again. For these RoboCops, we fund our own destruction in the face, and we go laugh and joke and dance and sing about it like it's some sort of a joke. Them black bodies that's getting murdered in the streets, them young women and men that's getting trafficked, they ain't no joke. There's no joke about it. They're there. They're there. You know why that lady ain't goes to the border? You know who's coming through that border? It's 44 nations at that border. 44 nations at that border. So if she ain't go to the border, ain't talking about that border, what you think is happening at that border besides the fentanyl and all this other stuff that they're telling you about? They ain't telling you who gets snatched up across that border. How many nations and what's happening in those black nations where these things are happening too. So the revolutionary posture, you have to take a lesson from the past. You have to be able to go back and be reinvigorated and reignite the spark of this culture, the culture of a maroon, the culture of a resistor, a culture of resistance, a culture of separation, a culture of divorcing yourself from something that's so parasitic and so toxic that it's killing you from the inside out. But you think that you have some need for it. How could it still be true, Sister K Fighter, that Harriet Tubman said her train never went off the track, she never lost a passenger, and she said she would have freed more of our captives had they known that they was captives. You ain't gonna get me with the S word. I ain't messing with that. Had they known. So she knew from then. From then. How are we still having the same discussion right now in 2024? So revolutionary posture. So we got to remember like a Queen Nani. Where the Maroons come from. We got to remember a Queen Amina or a Queen Mother Ya Asantiwa. Queen Nzinga. We have to remember those sort of minds, and we have to see them in our mothers and our sisters and our daughters and our nieces and our cousins, and we have to train them in that sort of posture. Don't be telling me about the Haitian Revolution, and you telling me, oh, are they too young? You better go do some research. You better go see what it took all throughout the South here.
Come on, brother.
And what it took in the North here. and who was at work and who was getting busy. Go ask Mike Brown how old he had to be. Ask Tamir Rice how old he had to be. We the only ones gotta have talks with our children. This will happen when you get stopped. Like, what is this? So for the American talk, I don't see the Americanism that's associated with it until now, like Malcolm said. And now they bring up you. So a space of resistance and revolutionary posture to have your mind thinking of a complete constructive change in word and in deed, in a space of practicality. What you understand is what you live. What you know, what you apply, and what you understand becomes what you live.
That's what I'm talking about.
They know they have you in this space of being unintelligent. You're gonna apply that space of being unintelligent. You're gonna understand that this unintelligence is cool, and this is what you're gonna begin to live. So now, in the space of power, what are you gonna build? Something unintelligent. So volume 1 through 5 is strategically designed in that space. So when you go from that revolutionary culture and that revolutionary understanding, you begin to build institutions with a revolutionary posture. So the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math is something that was so critical. That's why it's the longest volume, and this is why I strategically placed it for the last, because that's the reason for it. We got to go from broad, determined idea
where they get this from.
Oh, they can get it from me. They can get it from me.
Because wait, hold on. Because we gotta spread this far and wide. We gotta spread this material far and wide. And I think a couple of people in the chat just before you came on were asking for suggestions of reading. So you ask and we bring it to you. Like the brother said, we keep it thorough over here. And we only have the thorough over here. You got to pick up these volumes 1 through 5. It's easy, it's palatable, and I'm going to give it the first test. You know what? I'm going to give it to Young Pharaoh. He will be here on Saturday, and he's going to get into the first 3 volumes, because then I'll save the second 2 for when he comes back, right? So we're going to put it in with Young Pharaoh because he loved everything his nana do. I'm telling you right now, his nana is God to him. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I got family members in the chat. They'll tell you.
Yes,
they'll tell you. So we gonna start with Young Pharaoh, and we're gonna show it to him in a couple of days. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna record it, and I'm gonna go back to Brother Knowledge Born Allah, because now our children, I think they started school already, or they about to. Down south they have, right?
Yeah, in the south.
Okay. Forgive me. I'm out of that stage. But anyway, let's family get these volumes that Brother Knowledge Born Allah have right now, so that they can learn as they are going into these institutions of alleged learning, so that they can have a clear mindset of what it is that they see before them and how they can navigate through it. I am going to recommend that all of you, if you can, please get all 5 volumes. Again, it's very interactive. It is palatable. It is like he said, the illustrations are on point. The information is on point. There is video, there is audio. I think I seen was it Rusty on there? I think I seen one of them, or Brother Priest, rather. I think I saw his music.
Killer Priest, yes.
Priest, I think I seen. If you know,
if we could share the volumes,
down, you already know.
We can.
Am I allowed to play it? Because I don't want YouTube to come for me heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said we could play it, so that's what we going with. But I want y'all to hear and see. Hopefully, this streaming thing cooperate. You know how it gets, brother, when you start playing stuff. But here we go.
So this is volume 3, Black Revolutionary Leaders from Africa to America. So highlighting Black leaders from the diaspora to the continent. So different leaders in this volume and volume 4.
This is fire. This is fire right here. You know I love United Front. Shout out to United Front, a Safo gang in the building. Man, let me tell you something. See, we have our own study.
Yeah, I think my God and my gun is at the end of this volume.
Oh, you know that's my favorite jam right there. That's my jam right there. So
yeah, there was no way. There was no way. Volume 1.
He got, hold on, family, because we got to go through this. We got to take our time. He got all the revolutionaries. You hear me? All the with a revolutionary soundtrack to go along with these volumes. You got Julius Nyerere, you got Kwame Nkrumah, you got Thomas Sankara, you got Marcus Messiah Garvey, Granny Nan. I mean, just look at it, family. You just look at it. I mean, you gotta interact with your children. Here go my God and my gun at the end.
Yeah, there was no way that I could include Idi Amin and Dada, peace of blessings be upon him, and not put this. There was no way in the world. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to Bomani and Omawali and United Front for allowing me the creative placement to be able to put their music there. Everybody who allowed me the opportunity and the space to be able to feature their music. So I wanted them to have a posture or a thing that was associated, with it. So this is the undercurrent for DTK Multimedia Production Company that's going to feature our movies, our documentaries, our books, and so many things. So again, a proof of concept to be able to be utilized as a fundraising mechanism. I ain't gonna tell y'all I'm gonna build some school and the school ain't pop up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so we done all of that. We done all of it. We done everything. I ain't telling you I need a spaceship to go to the moon or Pluto or none of that BS. Okay, this is something practical that the homeschoolers can use. That the after school programs that we set up together. These are things that you can use, and we can use our arts and our minds and our sciences to be able to enthrall the mind. So again, literally that audacious goal of 1 million righteously told Black stories from around the globe, because we're inundated with people who put on dresses to talk to you, and hook, line, and sinker. They go get these production companies, and what do they show you? They go to these places and they get all of this acreage and they build these production studios to do what? So you have to counteract that. You got to break it down. You be like, nah, this is not how we interact. Where are the stories of the everyday Black people that don't fall into these categories and these tropes that before there was a Black face on TV, there was somebody white in Black face on TV.
Facts.
So through the caricatures that they put on the TV, through the comic strips, all of that, the big nose, the lips, and all of the yassa, all of that stuff come from the mind of that same class that you can't say nothing about. Them same swine, they financed all that and mass marketed and produced it. So when we get in position to be able to do something, we come out with the same tropes. We didn't need to see none of that stuff, but the stuff that most of the folks herald and they love. I love this director and that. burn them all to all hell, because the psychological detriment that was on time release kind of wanted, like, if you wasn't no gangster, you was trying to be a gangster, like, young man, young woman, like, no, you supposed to be in school, fam. You understand what I'm saying? So the psychological detriment that is done by the mainstream media and the entertainment industry is by design. So how are we counteracting that? Where's the medicine for the sickness? So literally, that's, y'all know me, that's my goal, my aim, and my objective. That's the mission of the platform. So just expanding the platform to a space where we got better days ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Because folks are still out here suffering. Huh? They still can't walk up a flight of stairs. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so they getting motorized out here. So they're mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and physically exhausted, dehydrated, malnourished in all of these ways. So we need a network that's truly a for us, not the for us by us, because once it's for us, they come to buy us, and we be like, yeah, this is what we were looking for. Yeah. So we start doing that. So the for us, the foo-foo, we're gonna keep it. You see what I'm saying? You put that foo-foo together, and boom, you start licking your fingers because it's yours. You ingesting something that's righteous for you. Tubi can't be your answer. Roku can't be your answer. Amazon can't be your answer. All these spaces, these are distribution spaces for you to have your things, but you're supposed to be telling your stories that enthrall the minds of your future generations. When you go see something in cinema, they wrote about it. They said it's a love story. So whether you love the villain or the hero or whatever the case, they make you fuck. That's their job. So why wouldn't you want them to fall in love with somebody you love? We start talking about Mansa Musa and the rest of those guys. I'm like, please, what are we talking about? What are we discussing? What's the brother's name, Sister Keisha, that's coming out with the Marketing Messiah Garvey, the film? The brother, he got the film out in circulation.
Brother Gerard.
Come on, the brother need $1 billion. He need $1 billion. Look, for the folks who celebrate the Halloween and all that, I want the Marcus Garvey doll. I want the Marcus Garvey video game. I want the Marcus Garvey board game. I want that. I want who are you for Halloween? We all Marcus Garvey. The same way we was all Black Panther. You understand what I'm saying? So if we don't find ways to tell our stories, somebody is going to think that Nate Parker is Nat Turner. Nat Turner does things and means. You seen him, Uncle Ted. You seen him out there. I'm like, what is this? Race treason? Like, we got race treason on here. Like, this is the symbol now. So these are the things you have to argue and fight against. We were talking about Judas and the Black Messiah. Like, how does Judas get more attention than the Black Messiah? If the COINTEL program, the counterintelligence program, was to stop the rise of a Black Messiah, how do you have the Judas in the marquee and Black Messiah under that? And we're supposed to shake your hand and say, oh, this was great. No, we're supposed to punch you in your face because we don't allow this to be proper representation. If you do harm and ill to African people, Black people, we don't call your damn name. We don't give you no title of honor. You get to excuse my back. You understand what I'm saying? Pardon my back. And that's the least thing that can happen to you, because something's supposed to happen to you. So it's supposed to be an appropriate response for your transgression. So spiritually, that's how we disconnect ourselves from you. Because
we got to know, brother, we got to know, where can they go immediately to purchase this? We got to know where they can go immediately, because school is about to start. And some of these parents need to be schooled too. So he made it palatable for you. Where can they go immediately, brother, to purchase this?
Hey, they can hit me on Cash App. That's the simplest way in the universe. I'm telling you, these 5 books.
So wait a minute, hold on, because we want people to be right on point, because I don't want nobody to get lost on the tunnel going through knowledge here. On the tunnel going through the knowledge, we don't want y'all to get lost. So can they go to Do the Knowledge Radio on Instagram, hit you up, where they can get your Cash App info and you can send them the links to all 5 volumes. And what's the
Definitely.
cost, actually?
For the month of Black August is for 5 volumes is $36. For 4 volumes is $27.
Easy money. I know y'all got $36 because I done seen y'all in the number hole. Stop playing. I done seen y'all in Stop and Shop getting big bags of chips that cost $30 a pop. Sister Marcia talked about the $10 cherries. I know y'all got $36. You understand?
Now they're about $20 today.
This is a steal, $36. Now, this ain't inflation rates. So listen, and when you purchase it, you can get your whole family to watch it together. So please go to Do the Knowledge Radio on Instagram right now. Like and follow so that you can be abreast on what's happening. You see the spelling DOTHA Knowledge Radio on Instagram so that you can follow. Reach out to brother, get the links. He gonna send you the Cash App, $27 or $36. It's easy money. It's easy money. If you got a group, this is a good deal. If you have a school, this is a good deal. Invest in your children's education. That's your responsibility, not no one else. Reach out to Do the Knowledge Radio on Instagram or Facebook, and he'll send you the information so that you can get all 5 volumes for $36. This is a steal. This is a steal, brother. I know we come to the end of our program and we getting ready to roll up out of here. But I thank you, brother, for always coming in and giving us that 1-2 punch. Our viewers definitely appreciate your wisdom. So again, brother, I already said it, but I want you to confirm, where can they follow you? Where can they be in touch with Do the Knowledge Radio? And how again can they get all volumes of these ebooks?
All right. Well, let me thank Thorough Black Talk because they thorough and they black with they talk. They ain't no snaking, no faking, no snake oil sales, men or women over here. You understand what I'm saying? They're doing things to uplift you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So this is one of the greatest platforms I've ever had the opportunity to be on because of who you are, what you stand for, and the work that you do. It's folks recanting, and I was never with folks and doing all that. It ain't never been none of that over here. It's always been love. It's always been honor. I love you all. You see what I'm saying? That African warrior spirit and African scholastic mind that exists in all of you. So honored to be here. Thankful to be here always. You can find me again on, is that Empress Chi?
Yes, she said great job. She said great job. Now you know you done got the big sis to prove. Right. So.
Yes, man, love to you, Doc. Man, love to you and the Million Women's March movement that's there. So,
yes, indeed, brother. So we gotta have you black again on this platform. You know, this is your second home. You know, the brother reached out to me, said, I got some things to talk about without hesitation. It's on. It's on. You know, that's how we do in these spaces. We have to look out for each other. And especially in these media spaces. We all we got. So I'm definitely looking forward to sitting down with young Pharaoh and giving you his critique, if you will. Because he gonna tell the truth. My family in the chat, they'll tell you. He gonna tell the truth. He don't care what happened. He gonna tell the truth. But I thank you, brother, and I definitely appreciate you. And of course, you know, anything you got going on, we got your back over here.
Definitely. I just want to make it real streamlined. I don't want people to be doing a lot of clicking and all that. If they just email me at dothenowledgeradio@gmail.com, then you know, we can make the transaction and they'll get the links directly. The same way you got the links. You see what I'm saying? I ain't out here defrauding. You understand what I'm saying? The same way you got the links, you'll be able to get the links. So Do the Knowledge Radio, DOTHAKNOWLEDGERADIO @gmail. And You email me, you tell me what you want. You want the 4 volumes or the 5 volumes. Send you the Cash App link, and you'll get the links directly. That way,
and he sent it right away. He sent it right away. There's no hesitation. There you have the email on the screen. It's in the chat. DoTheKnowledgeRadio@gmail.com. DoTheKnowledgeRadio@gmail.com. Thank you, brother. And I hope you sell so much your fingers start hurting. All right. Call me when them blisters show up. Sister Keisha got me blistered over here.
I'm gonna have to sit Thorough Black Talk. They cut. You understand what I'm saying? I'll see you the cut.
Love you, brother. Always appreciate you. Thank you for coming out and rocking with us here on the Brooklyn Bridge. Born. Yes, indeed. Love my brother. Love my brother. That's our brother from another mother for real. So, family, we have come to the end of our program. But before we go, because something that has been circling throughout the Cackling Hens platform, her platform is the comment of strength of joy. Everything is joy, strength of joy. Well, your homework assignment, family, I want you to Google strength of joy. And I want you to see the rabbit hole it leads you to, beginning with Germany Nazism. So be careful what you regurgitate. Be careful what you're repeating out here. Google strength of joy and see the rabbit hole it leads you down of white supremacy. This forgot y'all out here championing white supremacy. Joy this, joy that. Knock it off. Brother Blacksmith, your final thoughts and comments.
What a way to end the show, Sister Keisha. Thank you. And thank you for the brother Knowledge Born Allah. Always a pleasure to have that brother on. I love, you notice I ain't interrupt once, right? I love hearing him talk. He say it right. He say it right and exact. And thank you, brother, for your presentation. As far as we're concerned, as far as all of us individually, we know the solar flares is coming. We know this is mop up time. If this was the party, we'd be at the point between where like it's the janitor, his girlfriend, and maybe his close brother that lived near him that makes sure he want to get home is at the party, wiping down the event and making sure everything is at least decent. So when the people come in the morning or in the early afternoon the next day, everything is set to go. And pretty much that's about it. I'm concurring with my sister Marcia on what she told you the first time. Then you made her give you an answer. So it was all good in the hood. I didn't call her wing gal today, but I just got it in. Brother Tad, Sister Keisha, Sister Marcia, passing the mic. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, family. Thank you for another great time in learning and finding different ways to absorb information. Thank you to Brother Born Knowledge, Allah, for his newest edition of knowledge sharing for the young people. And, you know, as Baba Huey Newton says, revolutions is in the hands of young people. Revolutions have been fought by young people. If we look through the channels of history, we will see that it is our children who fight harder than we fight as long as we guide them. So it is our responsibility to give them the correct guidance so that they can fight. Because right now we are in a time of fight and we need them. We need them to step away from the dysfunction and step into the realm of the fight. The Haitian Revolution has been said would not have been won if it wasn't for the children. And this is children. 7, as young as 7 has been documented, can be younger. So let us know that this lets us know that children have been at the forefront. The decoration parade, which is now Memorial Day, was because of the children. They were honoring their parents who fought. It is the children who lead the way. We must guide them in that leadings. Let us be honorable men and women, African men, Black men, and Black women, or African women. Whatever your stance is, stand up and be ready to assist the children in this journey, because there's a war and the Anunnakis ahead of us, but the Anunnakis and the war will want to see who are the true soldiers for this. And we must be the parents of the soldiers. So, with that said, brothers and sisters, I look forward to learning more each and every day. I look forward to studying with you all and to continue to be prosperous in the name of our African ancestors. Brother Tad. Oh, and may time flourish. And if it won't make it flourish. Brother Tad.
No doubt. Thank you, Sister Marcia.
Brother Tad, can I say something real quick, just off Marcia's words, real quick?
Yeah,
what I wanted to say is...
No, go ahead, bro.
I'm going to take 30 seconds. What I wanted to say was for people to understand what Sister Marcia was talking about as far as children being in war, they need to, a more recent version of that, even though it wasn't a war against different countries, is Sarafina and the movement behind that, and how the children were really the ones that freed South Africa from the apartheid regimes and so on back in the day. That's all I wanted to say, Brother Tad. I apologize. Take it away.
Nah, it's all good, Brother Black. It's all good. Your spaceship has landed. You good money. But no, we definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, rocking out with us. Of course, there were things Sister Keisha wanted to show, but time wouldn't permit. You know, so much information, we can't cover it all in 2 hours. But we definitely want to thank our brother Knowledge Born for dropping by. It's always good to see our brother. I'm glad he stopped through tonight. Again, as Sister Keisha instructed, Google the Strength Through Joy or Strength of Joy, and it will come up. And then look at Kamala Harris's platforms. I want you to YouTube that, Kamala Harris and Strength of Joy, or the constant use of words of joy. In fact, even when he picked her VP, when she picked her VP, pardon me, my brain is slowing down. When she picked her VP, he talked about what a joy it is to work with her, and that word was constantly used through her campaign. You got to pay attention, because these are code words and dog whistles that they use in their propaganda campaign. That's why it's important that we create our own propaganda campaign, but give it right knowledge so we can give our people the right information so they can make the right choices, because we're critical masses. Brother Black said, you know, the party's over. Janet about to go home and lock the door. It's almost a wrap. What are we going to do? So I definitely want to thank y'all for tuning in, rocking out with us. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there's always better days ahead. Please don't forget OG Wisdom every Sunday, 2 p.m. Me and Gutter was talking today. We may have a special surprise guest this Sunday. He's working on that behind the scenes, but definitely tune in. And Sister Keisha, it's on you.
Again, we appreciate y'all rocking out with us each and every week, joining us right here on the Brooklyn Bridge. Shout out to everybody who comes in and rock out with us in Atlanta, in Florida, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Switzerland, in Germany. We appreciate y'all, each and every one of y'all. We'll see you Black again next week, right here on the Brooklyn Bridge. Tell somebody to like, subscribe, and share. We out, y'all. Good night.